Hello and welcome back. I'm B-Ball Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Today I am going to fix this republic. Sent to me by George. Thanks, George. I really appreciate it. There are a lot of problems here. From rail to distribution to transport to auto buying. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that a lot of beginners will have the same mistakes and the same things that we can work on. So let's get to it. First, let's start by taking a score of what's going on. 12% unemployment is pretty good. Could be a little better, but it's pretty good, honestly. Yep, that works. 81% health is not very good. Also, your average lifespan is only 82.5. You want that to be in the 86 range, otherwise you are losing population over time, so that's not great. It only says 2% pollution, but I don't believe that, and I'll show you why later. 90% happiness is okay. Government loyalty, only 32% is not okay. That's also something that you're going to lose people with. And then there's a special statistic here, which I didn't expect, but maybe some of you are actually doing this too. Have a radio and have a television at the very bottom of that. Means you are giving them electronics. Now, your residents only need electronics if you are using a radio station or a TV station. And it's either or. They will get a radio first, and then you need a radio station for them to actually use that. Otherwise, you just gave them something for free that they can't use. Same with television. They will only use it when it's useful. So yeah, keep that in mind. We don't have to do that. The other thing that we should probably look at is your current money, because as you can see on the top, we only have a few rubles and a few dollars. And George, if you wonder why, I had to skip past winter because winter you just can't see anything on the video. So he gave me the save of about 120,000, but he has so many ruble loans out currently that the interest is just eating it up. So, and this is not a terrible thing at all, so don't worry about that. That's fine. Maybe I should tell you what George asked me to do. Hello, here's my save. Please take a look and try to fix the rail traffic signs. Also, if you can optimize the food production, the exports, and make some recommendations or a general review. Yes, you got it. No problem. What's our production? Let's look at last year. Overall, you're producing power, fuel, bitumen, coal, cement, gravel, bricks, oil, prefab panels, coal ore, quarried stone, crops, alcohol, food. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Meat? This is a little surprising that is here, but okay, it's here. You're producing livestock because of the meat. That also makes sense. We'll get to this one later. Then some concrete. That looks good. Wood, iron, iron ore. Yep. This all looks pretty... I mean, it makes sense. Makes very, very much sense. But it's not perfect. Here's the other things that we want to look at. What did you import? This guy. So exports, yeah, you're exporting a lot of the stuff, but you're also importing stuff. Importing steel, you're producing that now, so there's a steel mill over there. I know I haven't shown you everything yet, but I know you're importing, you're producing steel, you're importing food, you're producing this. You shouldn't have to import food. You're importing fuel, you're producing this. You shouldn't have to import it. Electronics, as we talked about, is not necessary. Clothing is necessary. Meat, you're producing this, but not enough, which is why this is probably fine. Gravel, you should not import gravel at all, so this is no good. Electronic components, yes, you're not producing those. Yes, bitumen, you are producing this. You should not import these. Prefab panels, coal, you are producing this. You should not import. Asphalt, bricks, I think you are producing bricks. Yeah, there's a brick factory right here. And then concrete and boards. Boards is just a weird amount here. But looking at this list tells me you're not set up very optimally for what you're trying to do. That's fine. That's fine. Everyone does that. Yeah, where do we start? I think we can start with the rail. The first thing that you should be aware of and consider, this guy over here, I'm going to show you the rest of the Republic probably while we go through here. No, actually, I'm going to show you this right now. So we're starting out here. This is our starter city. These are starter industries. You have a heating plant there, that makes sense. You have 2 power plants here and a refinery that are really close to your city and residential areas. That is not great. You don't really want to do that. You have a helicopter construction office here. Helicopters are very expensive, so I'm not recommending using them very early on. Helicopters are great if you want to expand further out or across water, if you don't want to build bridges, but use the regular construction offices. They're usually good enough for what you need to do. Then here's the refinery area. Here is coal and gravel happening. There's some gravel fields out here. That looks good. There's no gravel in here, which tells me you're consuming enough of it. That's good. That's what you want to do. Is this one actually connected to anything? Oh, you're connected here. Ah, I see. So your gravel here is connected only to the output of the gravel processing plant, but not to the storage that you have here. That's not always the best solution, but it's fine. But here's gravel and coal. There's a coal mine there that feeds into this. We're going to fix all of this later on. Then you have another power plant out here and another oil production, which means you bring in workers out here for your steel production. This one I can totally understand. You have a good amount of workers there, so that looks nice. You have your coal mine here, and that's all working okay. Then there's another city out here. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with building another city. At this point, you may be a little close to the other. These are technically 2 cities, or 2 quarters. No, not quarters, but 2 sectors. 2 sectors of 1 city potentially, and then you have another city here. This may be a little too close, but maybe it's just the right distance. It's fine. And then you have a food and meat production over here, plus another gravel industry set up right there. Got it. Well, where should we start? I think I will attempt to start with things that make us money, or that cost us money. So, the first thing you probably want to do is figure out what you're importing that you don't need to import. So, one thing you can do for that is show your overlays, go to your resources, and look at the resources. The resources will tell you if you buy fuel anywhere. This one is buying fuel, because there's that little P sign there. You don't want that, so just turn that off. I am going to go through and do that for everything that's importing fuel right now, because we don't want that. All right, that was a lot of clicks just for this, but fuel is super expensive and you are producing it. Don't worry about exporting it right away, because for right now, if you can cover your own fuel demands, you are saving yourself a lot of money. So that's a good start. What we should go with. What's the other stuff? Is there bitumen bought anywhere? It looks like this one just gets delivered there. That's good. There's another one here. You are buying something. You don't want to do that. But yeah, I'm really just telling you, use your overlays to figure out where things are that you don't actually require. That looks good. You are producing food now, but you also have all of your stores set up to buy food. You're not currently delivering it. I'm okay with that, just because this is not a advanced republic at this point. So you may run out of food, and food is one of the things that you always want to keep. So I'm going to allow that. Clothing, same thing. You can also set up a distribution office, because you have the fuel now, and or distribution lines, and use the lines to deliver goods to all your places where you need it. That is something we can do later on. But for right now, I'm just going to make sure that we're working here. Here are the electronics that we don't actually need, so let's make sure that we turn those off. There's a store here, there's a store here. And I think there's one more store, excuse me, out here that buys them. Cool. So that's the first thing. Reduce all your expenses that you don't actually need. Meat, I'm going to allow that. It's fine where it is. Electronic components, all this is good. Coal. We should have some coal, but we should not import coal. This power plant is currently buying coal. That is actually a bad thing, and I'll show you why in just a second. Let's turn this off, because we have coal and we don't need to have it produce anything. Cool. So that is good. Then what else are we doing? Gravels. Anyone buying gravel? Yes. This prefab panel is buying gravel. We also don't want that. I'm assuming you may have placed these down and just forgotten that was happening. And now we are where we are. That looks good. Asphalt, we don't care. Cement, we probably don't buy anywhere. Nope. Cement is actually looking good. I'm assuming you just fixed that already. Concrete, prefabs. That looks fine. Bricks, boards, wood. Yep. Crops. Crops would be one I would be totally fine with buying if you have to. Alcohol, we have some. I think. Yeah, you actually have a pub here and you're not importing that, so that's good. And steel and all that stuff. There's just some steel here. Yeah, I think we're good on the imports. Make sure that that's all set up correctly, so you can work around that. The thing that you want to do now is wait and see where people are actually going, because you have a lot of redundant gas stations. I don't know if you saw that. There's 1, 2 here. There is somewhere, actually, again, use your overlays. Overlays make your life a lot easier. Find G for gas station. And there's 2 there. There's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, another 1 here, there's 1, and that's it. That's a lot. You don't need that many. You do need a couple. I would put definitely 1 here. I will probably keep this 1 here. This one's not really necessary. And having 1 in this area is also good. So the others we could technically just turn off, but we're just not going to deliver goods to them if we don't have to, and that can help. It's going to be really hard to turn those off, so I'm not going to do that right now. It's not hard, but you have to find them and you have to read. Cool. That's the first problem. The second problem, look how many buses are waiting in line here, which means you have a really high frequency and you're probably not going to lose any workers that are waiting here, but you're also not really going to get what you want out of this. You want more flowing traffic, and if any of these are on the same line, your frequency is shot because they're just parked here and they're not really picking anyone up and they're blocking the car that's behind them, and so on. So at some point, you're just not gonna gain anything. And if we look at the related lines, you have a lot of lines with some of them with a lot of vehicles on it. That is, I understand why you do it, but if you want this many buses running in a station like this, you need to use one of the bigger bus stations. Why? 1, a bus stop only can handle 200 passengers at a time. Okay, that's not the end of the world, but it can also only handle 2 buses at a time. That's not good. If you use any of the other vanilla bus platforms, this one for example, this one has 4 stations, I believe, so 4 buses can go in here at the same time, plus we do have the new moving mechanics, so now more than 1 vehicle can move inside the building at the same time. So if you want to use just 1 central bus platform, use a bigger one, don't use the small ones. And if you use the small ones, don't overload them like this. You may just have to add more bus stations in your city and just have your lines go to one or the other, but not all to one. Then you have another train station out here that has a lot of workers waiting, and I don't currently see a train there. I know where the train is, but the train is nowhere near picking up people right now. So these guys are gonna go without a job. So what you can also do is send a bus out here to pick up people. Over here we have the same issue. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot more lines. I don't know if it's more vehicles, about the same amount of vehicles. This one looks a little better on the ratio because you always have someone coming here, so that may be fine. But it's still not ideal, but it may work. Okay, the thing that I want to start with is power. Power. Understand that your power lines down here, the high voltage power lines, have different maximum wattages that it can take through, or that they can service. So this one has 10 megawatts, this one has 13, this one has 15, this one has 18. This is the biggest one you have. That also matches your export-import points. How can you see that? Maximum wattage of energy to sell, 100% of 18 megawatts. Also down here you can see 18 megawatts. You're exporting this. That is excellent. But how much are you actually producing? Well, let's see. Each of these gas power plants can produce up to 1,050 megawatt hours of power. If you divide this by 60, it's just a little more than 17 megawatts, which means it pretty much fills up the power line capacity, which is 18. If you look at your whole network, let's see, power. If you look at your whole network, you have this power plant connected via a high voltage line to this, what's this called, this switch, plus this gas power plant also connected here, and then you have one max or high voltage power line going to this export. That is good, but you're wasting pretty much, you're not using the whole capacity. So this one is serving 8, this one is, oh, sorry, my bad. Wattage is what I want to look at. So we're passing 18 megawatts here, that's fine, and this is what I wanted to see. This line is already full. This line is full because of 18 megawatts. And right now it's this coal power plant that produces 15, and this one produces a little more. Only the power from this guy is going to be exported through the border. The power from this guy is not even, it's not really used for exporting. So you're wasting a lot of power potential. Now, the 50 megawatts translates to more than half of the current percentage of output if you have less than half workers here. That's nice. In here, you have about half the workers, but only a quarter of the production, so you could use a lot more. What I would do is pick one or the other power source to export. Since this one is really close to 18, I will use just this guy to export power. You don't have to do this. The other thing is these industries are really close to the city. That may not seem like a problem, but it causes health issues. Trying to find the right guy. There we go. Pollution monitoring station. Great. Do we have money to build you? We do not. I will take out a quick loan. Ruble. 5 years, about $1 million. Beautiful. So I can just build a couple things so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Just get this one built real quick. There we go. Pausing again. And now if we look at the actual pollution, and it has to update first because right now it starts out as nothing and everything is nice green and yellow. What happens if one of these guys is actually producing at the 100% level, which you want them to, your pollution will increase. Right now the pollution is right here, but it's also an industrial sector. But pollution is also not static. I can see, look right here, there's some dots that are not bright green, they're getting yellow. And I can promise you that at some points, the pollution in this city is going to be relatively high. Because just imagine there's wind that, that makes things happening. So yeah, these industries are really close. There's some more dirt or some more pollution over here. But yeah, you will have pollution in the city because these are really close together. How far should you have them apart? At least 500 meters. And currently, let's use a new tool for measurement. Currently, the distance from there to, let's take the center of the city here, is 412 meters. That's not enough. Did I say 500 meters? I meant a kilometer. So 1,000 meters is what you want the distance to be. So yeah, that's potentially a problem, but it's okay. We have these guys here. So what I want to do is connect the power to more reasonable locations. The other I'm jumping here, I apologize for that. The other thing that you're doing is you are centralizing your power grid. What does that mean, Weeble Joe? That sounds like a stupid thing to say. It's pretty simple. You're actually using all the output wires from your power producers, which is not a bad thing by itself. But this line is now a direct line, I'm trying to follow the green grid here, a direct line into right here. There's nothing wrong with that, but if this power plant goes down for whatever reason, this line doesn't have power. This line doesn't have power. This line doesn't have power. So if this power plant for whatever reason is not working, you don't have power. If this power plant for whatever reason stops working, you don't have power in this rail connection, and you don't have as much power to export. If this one goes down, same thing. What you do want to try to do is connect your power producers to the same power grid. So you always have a constant flow. So if one power producer goes down, the other one can still pick up the slack and you're not out of power right away. So combine your grid into one thing, but keep in mind the 18 megawatt maximum capacity. So what you do to compensate for that is not join everything on the same location and have all your power grids in the same place. You join them in strategic places. So for example, here you know that this one is already 18 megawatts or is using 18 megawatts of power. So you don't need another power source coming in here. What you could do is take the high voltage power line from the coal power plant, pull it somewhere out here and add a switch that then splices into the network, and that switch could be connected to this switch somewhere else, and then everything in between would essentially pull from both sides for the power. Power is more like a river though, so it's either coming from one side or the other. It's not directly combining it necessarily, but it will help you be more efficient with your power production and consumption. So that's the first thing. Which one should we keep running? Well, the coal power plant produces 1400 megawatts of power. That is 24 megawatts approximately. That's a little better than this guy, and this guy is really close to the residential buildings, so I'm gonna say turn this one off. We don't need this one at all, really. We just can save whatever oil is in here. It's full, which is another problem we can work on later. But this guy can keep producing and throw power into this grid. And this guy we can just use to export, plus whatever is connected here on this power line already can just continue doing what it's doing. Cool. What's next? Well, you are plain vanilla only, which is great. Commend you on that. But you currently don't have any ways to connect more power lines to the existing grid that you have. So we got to change that. Let's add a couple switches. Let's add one there. And then I do know that I want to replace this power plant because it's redundant. You have more than enough power production for what you need here. Let's place one there. Then we need a simple power transformer somewhere in a place that is accessible. And I am on pause, so this should be fine. I'm going to remove all of this. I'm not going to kill that whole power plant at this point. But what I will do... Actually, I should kill it probably. What I will do is turn off all workers here because we don't need them. We have enough power in our grid. I will turn that off. I will connect everything that needs connected. That is this one. This one. Okay. Take you back a little bit. There we go. There we go. And then this one just has to come over here and connect you. That looks fine. Then we need a high voltage line. This one goes to the steel power plant. And here the same thing. It tells you it consumes 33 megawatt hours of power. If you divide this by 60, it's not a lot. It's just not a lot. So you don't have to worry about the consumption here really. The substation is probably doing enough. You see, you're only going up to 2.5 megawatts, which the smallest line that we have that supplies that on the high voltage lines is more than enough for this connection. Plus we need a little extra for whatever is connected on this side. I'm not that worried about that right now. So what we can do is just let's pick the 8 megawatt line. This should be more than enough. Connect that one in there, because you don't have to use the biggest ones if you already have an established network. The big ones I want to use for anything that has a potential to move a lot of power at some point. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You can also just go safe and make everything with the big power lines, but they're just a little more expensive than the smaller ones. So that one goes there, that one can go... No, not there actually. I want you to go on the outside. There we go. And this one can connect here. And now, if we build all of this, we should have a pretty good... we should have a pretty good start for the rest of the power grid. Let's get all of this done. Everything built. That looks good. What is your building without power supply? Yep, I understand, because these are currently building. We will lose a little bit of money there, but that should be okay. All the way out here. And now we have power. Wonderful. What I want to know is what's your current consumption here. Yeah, barely 1 megawatt. That is totally fine. Not worried about that at all. Cool. Now, what we should find is what is going on here. There's this line. This line we don't need anymore at all. We don't have to waste power, which is one thing that you do if you have a lot of vehicles. You're using a lot of fuel. Don't know what I said. I probably didn't say fuel. You're using a lot of fuel. So instead of having these guys go anywhere, I'm just going to tell them, hey, go to the depot, and once they make it here, I will just delete that line. Perfect. There is a truck sitting here not doing anything. I want you... oh, I should show you this. There's a lot of gravel here that's not being used right now. And not using gravel means you're not needing production of gravel. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. I need you to go export, because you are left over already and you can do this. So have you come out there, because you have some coal and I don't want to waste that coal, I just tell you to go to the customs house first. So you empty and then you can get the gravel from here. Perfect. And you should do that with all your excess trucks that you're currently not using, which there are a lot more right in this area. So what you can do is just, instead of having them sit in the construction office, not do anything, send them to the road depot and just tell them to do the same thing. And then they can start exporting gravel for you too, which it's not a lot of money, but if you have the bigger trucks, it's actually fiscally responsible enough to do. So we'll just tell them what they're supposed to do. They can do that and life should be good. Great. What else is going on? Well, right now, this distribution office is supposed Let's see here. I'm looking at the line on the right and see if there's any fuel distribution supposed to happen there, but I didn't see one that was just some bitumen. This one looks like the fuel distribution office, and that is good, but you're getting your fuel from the refinery, it looks like. Well, that works. You can totally do that, but there's a lot of fuel here. What are you going to do with that? I'm going to allow that. This is actually fine, but you're already full, and that's a little scary. Set it to 60%. Yeah, no, this honestly, this is good. This is good. This is an excellent version of your fuel distribution. It's just, it's not just anything. It's fine. This is good. That's what you want to use your distribution offices for. 3 trucks looks like maybe a little much, but it's okay. That can continue working. The next thing I want to address. First, I guess I need to send these guys out. Because I want to make money, but I also need space in this road depot later on, because there's going to be a lot of buses and other things that we're going to sell there. Okay, let's look at these lines. Again, you have a lot of vehicles driving here, and those vehicles simply will require a lot of fuel, a lot of... well, they block up your traffic right now because there's a lot going on here, and that's just not ideal. What you want to do is, well, optimize things. What do you need to optimize? Well, let's see what your production levels currently are. Heating plant. You have more than enough workers, you have coal, that looks good. This one at this point can produce enough, and it's only producing for our current republic. Something that we can do, which I will do right now because we just should, is... I'm not going to make this super pretty anywhere, but we can also use the excess power from this guy, because again, it's currently only producing 1/4 of its capacity, but it could do a lot more, and it's just sitting there idle. It already has workers. Pause this. Let's put another switch in here. Normally you want to do this while you're planning your republic, but in this case we just have to do it this way, and that's fine. Yep. Thanks, autosave. Put a switch right there. Get a connection in here. Get a large one there and a large one here, because we do still want to connect this in a good way, and then we're just going to build another switch out here, and this is going to be our export switch. And I'm putting a switch in here because I don't know yet what I may or may not need it for later on, so I rather not have to disconnect this wire if I don't absolutely have to. So let's get that one there. This one could be in a better location potentially, but this is fine. Get all of that built for 118,000. We should make that money back really, really quickly. So I'm not worried about this expense at all. Get that one built. These will be without power just for a little bit, but that should be fine. So we have this export now. We could turn this one back on anytime if we wanted to, but at this point we really don't have to. What is going on here? Oh, yeah. The problem here is... Oh, you don't have power supply? Why do you not have a power supply? I am assuming that this guy doesn't have coal. Haha! Okay, for right now, I will allow coal import, but not for very long, because we can fix this. We have to fix this. What is the problem here exactly? Well, the problem is that there's a coal mine and a coal ore processing plant. And then there is a large aggregate storage here, and that's it. Each of these coal mines can produce a lot of coal. Even at 51% quality of source, you are producing a lot. Let's see what we can see here. Coal, yes. Maximum daily production per worker is 4.2 tons of coal ore. Okay. You can have a maximum of 220 workers. Okay. 220 times 4 is about 480 tons of coal ore. And the percentage of source I just use, it's not exactly translated that way, but I just use as the maximum production of that 880 tons of coal ore, which in this case, 51% is about 500, no, it's about 450 tons of coal ore is what you can produce. Okay, this guy can consume 210. So even at 51%, this coal mine, if you give it enough workers, can feed at least 2 of these coal can feed at least 2 of these coal ore processing plants. So how do we do that? you put a storage in between. Very important. I know that the storage will fit right here. I don't have a nuclear bulldozer right now, so I hope this is not going to take too long. But yeah, we lower this. Let's give me... Actually, no. I wanna get you right on top of here. This is going to take a minute, so please don't go away. Okay, and we're just retrofitting this right now. I know you're playing vanilla, so I'm not going to use any fancy conveyor belts or anything else in this area, just because I want to respect what you did so far. So what we're going to do is just add this in here. When you plan this next time, I will just recommend that you give yourself space for one, at least medium storage, at least small storage in between here. The large one will be better, because whenever these produce, you can just store stuff in here when these guys are not working. So keep that in mind next time you build this, and anyone else that watches this. It is very helpful to have in-between storages for pretty much everything. So what we want to do is that guy can technically just connect like this, but that's not quite what I want it to do. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We don't want this connection yet, because we want the storage to go in between there and be spread out. And then, not spread out, but collected. And then we want whatever is collected to come back out on this side. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make this pretty, because we do need this. And in vanilla, we don't have multiple in and one output. That could actually be really helpful here. See, we can fit that one there. That's a win. This is just retrofitting in this case. I don't want to use a bulldozer in there. That's scary. Get another one that connects somewhere here. I'm pretty certain that I can fit this. It's just a matter of exactly where and how. Hill causing obstruction. That's not a problem. Just use our excavators and tell them, well, make this hill a little lower. And if that doesn't work, we can just put the engine on a higher spot. That should be fine too. Is this working now? Yep, it's working now. Get that one taken out. And now we have a little in-between storage here for everything that may need to be done. So let's get that one built. Costs a little bit of money, but it's fine. The next thing, well, we have this. The coal plant right now has some... Well, it doesn't have coal because I'm not actually producing any. What we need to do is connect it to this production, and this production needs to be filled, but this production will be filled better if, turn this overlay off, it's gonna be producing better if this stays full-ish. It doesn't have to be super full, but full-ish will be good. And yeah, the other problem that we have here a little bit is that this produces the power for this area. That's a little scary. So, yeah, I'll show you what I mean. This guy currently only has one source of power. That's not good, because once the coal is stopped coming in here, this one is out of it. So, not good. What do we need to do here? Stop talking around the stuff. What I'm going to do is add a connection from our storage in between here, so then when this guy produces a lot more coal, we can actually get it to the power plant without having this guy to produce right at the time when we need it. That's important. Okay? So let's put another conveyor belt here. I would like to have this conveyor belt. Okay, it's not going to work the way I want it to, but that's fine because this is important. I'll just put it in this way, and then we built that. And at this point, here's another thing that you may or may not know. Conveyors direct priority. So the conveyors at this point, I thought they would. You're not sending. I actually expected the conveyors to pull out of here first, but it looks like everything that's directly connected is pulling first, and that's fine for right now. But this should be a better connection for getting this guy to work more consistently, and that's fine. And once we have more coal in here, we should have this whole area working a lot faster. Because the problem here is just we don't have enough coal ore producing at this point. Okay, how are we going to get more coal ore producing at this point? Well, figure out where the workers come from. The coal ore mine is actually one of the places where I would recommend you can just have a direct bus go in there because it requires so many workers. And we're going to do that. So let's find where we can get a couple buses that can do the thing that we need them to do. And send them to a place where I know there are a lot of workers waiting, which is right here. And get them straight up here You can start and then just assign the same route to this guy, and you can also start. Then keep some line spacing. 32 people is not enough. You need bigger buses than that, but it's the start. I don't want to spend too much money on things that you don't have money for yet. So bear with me there. What is going on with this guy? There's some passengers waiting, and there are a lot of buses here. I'm assuming this translates to... you have a... Oh, no. This is bad. 7 buses for this distance. That is not good. There's some here as well. What is the other bus station? Let's see. You are coming just from the other city. That's just too much. That's just too much going on right here. Well, I'm not sure what you're doing. You're serving the university, you're serving both power plants, and that's about it. It just can barely not make it to this guy. Use your walking paths. Definitely use your walking paths, because this is in range. And if you can get people there, which we can now, you can essentially eliminate everything that's going on here. What do you have running here? You have 6 buses running there that are not required. That is way too much. These can all go away, and there's a couple big buses in there that I want to use later on. Okay, so we'll take that one away. I will leave this where it is right now. But everything else can go. Okay. What else do we have? So we have a special bus going here already right now. We have these guys sitting there. Do we have anyone actually exporting here? Nobody's exporting gravel from this place right now, but there's also not that much gravel available. Yeah, this bothers me. I don't know if I can fix it. I would like to fix it, but to fix this one, I have to have a connection to this storage. Just use engines more, please. Take that one out right now. Get the aggregate. Where is it? Conveyor here. I wonder. I don't know. I just wonder. Wow. That was easy. Yep. We'll build that. Perfect. So everything can go into storage, and then it gets filtered out to everything else. Again, you're not dependent on this building producing to produce in other places. This building can produce, store something here, and then when it's done, when this one is turned off or doesn't have quarried stone or something else right now, then you still have stored material here so everyone else can still produce. That's what you want to do. Okay. This is more people now. That is excellent, but still not enough. How many do we have driving here? There are 4 buses coming from that city. I'm okay with that. The second city is supplying 2 buses, but these microbuses are not going to cut it. What I would like to do is update that to have a bigger bus, just like this. I will allow the smaller ones just for right now, but this area you just need a lot more people for this guy. This is really what you want to pack with workers. Otherwise you have a problem. Road connection, fire trucks, ambulances required. I don't care. Oh, you are producing. It's just I had the game stopped. So yeah, we have coal ore now, but that is excellent to see. That's perfect to see. That means this one will slowly fill up. Yeah, we have some coal ore here. That is perfect. Awesome. It will be nice if we can add another coal ore processing plant here, but there really isn't a lot of room. You can probably squeeze it in right here. But I'm not sure if that's going to work. How's this going? We actually have some coal in here that is not being bought, so that is excellent. What is this guy doing? You are waiting for some more coal. There's just a lot more coal needed. Yeah, this is working. This is working. It just takes a little more time. Now this guy can only produce 120 tons of coal a day. Let's see what we need. This one consumes 22. This one consumes nothing. This one consumes 33, so at 55 tons of coal currently. Plus this one's 24. So at 100% production, this guy should be able to produce more than enough for this little industrial sector, even for exports. So we just have to make sure that there are enough people getting to this place. How do we do that? Well, give them a chance. That's how we do that. Too steep, too steep, too steep. Got it. Okay. Doesn't want to play along. Doesn't want to play along. Doesn't want to play along. Okay, this is something that we can probably address, like so. Footpath. I saw a little green sliver there. Should work. And if that doesn't play along yet, just get your landscaping gloves on, and let's see what we can do here. Probably just too late in the game that we can actually get anything connected here. Yeah, that pipe is in the way right now for what we want to do. I don't want to mess with that too much. Also, this is really expensive to build. I don't recommend doing this. In this case, you can just use a truck to bring a little bit of stuff here. You can also just connect a silo next to it. That will make... Well, a silo is probably the same expense as these engines in here. But it's not great to use these engines. How are we doing on time? Way too long. Okay, I have reduced the traffic a little bit. Not a lot. Oop, I would like to keep this one for something. Where should I put you on? I would say this line. Yes. We need the coal guys to move. Even though we are producing more coal now than we're producing, or than we are consuming, that's not a bad thing. And I still don't have anything sitting in here. Once this is full, we're doing better. How is this? You have no coal stored. You have no coal stored. You have no coal stored. Yeah, no, we just need more workers in here so we can produce a lot more than we are doing right now. But yeah, we are catching up. We are catching up with all of this. So I'm going to say this is fine the way it is right now. What else do we have? 8 buses come right here with a really long, convoluted road. That's not ideal, but that's the only way to get people in this area. I don't like that you have 8 buses on here, but I see the necessity of that. How are we doing with traffic over here? Now let's speed this up to see how things are moving. As long as I don't see anyone stuck anywhere and no traffic jams, I am okay with it. It is not perfect. But I think we're doing okay for right now. Yeah. I'll allow this. That's good. How are we doing on money? How much did I take out earlier? 1 million. So I'm still not making more money than we're consuming. That's okay. So, what is next? There's some fuel in there, that's good. There's this bus station. You are currently having 7 people doing something. That's not bad. That's not bad. But this guy, the food production, has a lot of crops and not a lot of workers. Okay, we can fix that. We can fix that for sure. We need a bigger bus, essentially, to come out here and drop off more workers for mostly food production. Everything else doesn't matter that much. Gravel. We are putting a dent in this. Is all I want. Just make sure that this is not just stagnantly full all the time. You want to be able to have something happen there. Oh, this one. I forgot about this one. I don't actually want to build anything right now because steel is expensive and we don't currently have a lot of money. So we're just going to tell them, stop it. I don't need you out there. I don't need you to do anything, and that should be good. Yeah, let's fix the food production. All we need is just more people. It's pretty simple, and more people in this case translates to 2 buses with... Sure, 98 people should be just fine. Also there, because that's where a lot of the workers are. Bring them straight to here. That looks good. Tell you to do the same thing, and then tell our line to use line spacing. That should increase the production here a lot. And once you have this one higher, you can actually use the product that you're getting from there. How are we going to use that? Well, okay, this is good. These buses are running to this fuel station because there's fuel in there. They're not getting fuel from anywhere else, which tells me... Nope, there's some fuel here. There's some fuel here still. No, never mind. What I was saying is not relevant because I thought there was no fuel somewhere else, but I don't see any fuel refueling signs yet. So I'm just going to say we are good for right now. Food distribution. Yes. What is this guy doing? You are... what? What's your problem area? Why is that your problem area? Large customs house, aggregate storage. Oh, you can't get to that aggregate storage. That's what you're saying. Got it. Sorry. There you go. Normal... Look at this. Look at this. We have coal that actually gets in here, which means the train that was waiting here is now actually exporting coal. That's wonderful. That's what we want. Yes. 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 This is good. This is good. We have quarried stone there. We don't have gravel here yet. I'm not that worried about this gravel. Because if we're producing cement and prefabs, we're actually doing a really good job. Okay, unemployment is a little lower now. That's great. I'm not sure if that's better or not, but I don't see traffic jams. So even though I don't think this is the best way to set up your bus transit, it works. It's fine for now. And you're not gonna, if you have this much frequency, this many buses running around everywhere, you're not gonna have problems with unemployment. Where is this guy going? I don't think this is really necessary. Palace of Communism. Oh, this is the construction office over here. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. That's fine. I'm trying to fix the food distribution. So let's do that. Let's get a couple big holes. Go biggest capacity right away. Don't worry about the mods. Just use whatever you have available. I want 2 for food, and that's good. The first one, we'll do a pretty simple line, and I only want to do 2 trucks simply because there are only 2 parking spots right here. What are you doing? You're picking up food from here. Where are you coming from? Distribution office. Distribution office, no. I don't want you to do any food distribution at all. That's a bad thing. I will make a separate video about that, but if you use the distribution office to bring or to transport food, you will always have the truck driving around in small quantities, and you're never going to use much, like, it's not going to be efficient. That's the problem. That's what I want to avoid. That's what you want to use dedicated lines for, because that's what they're good at. They will wait here until full, not drive with empty loads, drop it off where you want it. So wait until full, food, so I can see what they do. Drop it off there at the warehouse. You drop it off here at the warehouse. And then when you're done with that, whatever's left over, which shouldn't be a lot most of the time, drop it off at the border, and then you're good to go. The other one will go the opposite way, and probably have more food to export when it gets there, because he only has 1 unload. But it's pretty easy to add another loading station in here. So now food should make it to all locations pretty easy. This is excellent. But as you can see, we cannot store or export food right now because we are pretty packed. So we're just going to wait for those trucks to show up. Should be pretty close. Yeah. Okay. Next thing. And this was a big request that George had, which is, can you fix the rail signals? I can tell you that I cannot fix them the way they are right now. That's just not going to work because they're not set up to be fixed in a lot of places. But I'm going to do my best, and we're going to relay some track too. But right now, they fixed the block signals that you see here to be more simple. So you can just place them. You don't have to worry about chain signals as far as I know. Just give yourself a just one-way track whenever you can. This is a big junction. These 2 trains are doing something funky that I don't need them to do. And let's see here. You are currently almost built. Almost built. Let's get this finished. Get it on magic. Then let's get a signal in here. It looks like... And I have to think about this a little bit. This is 1 long junction. I don't want to replace all of your track. Pretty simple. Is this the right one that I want you to go to? Yes, that's a good one. So now you can come out here. You can't because there's someone in the block. What does that mean? Because you didn't have any signals beforehand. Now everything that's orange that you can see in this republic is a block. If there's a train anywhere in there, nobody's going to move outside of their block. So we got to fix that first. Actually, the new signals may actually fix this. Yes. So they're reserving this part of the track. Excellent. Then once they're in there, they should be able to move to wherever they want. This is a longer piece of track, so I'm going to block that one off. It's just going to be a one-way and one-way. This looks like... I'm not sure what to do with this rail, because it's just not going to be used, but we don't have to worry about that too much. This is a junction. It's going to be one-way, or it's going to go both ways. And we're going to just say that you can start being one-way afterwards. Yes. I'm using a lot of weird words here. I hope you don't mind. But we want to keep one-way traffic as much as possible. And I have to make sure that everything that we're building here makes sense. This looks like... Oh, you have 2 junctions there. Perfect. Put one there, make these one way. Then this just becomes one big junction that I don't really want to touch right now. You can go that way, you can go this way. You can do this a little better by just putting that signal in front of the road, not after the road. That helps a little at times. Yeah. Put those there, put those here. Again, all I'm doing right now is just making sure that there's enough one-way traffic for everything that we care about. Get them in here, and then this is just one long junction that you only want one train in, so we can just block that off. That should be good. This is just one long orange junction again. Sure, that should work. Again, this is just one big junction. I do not want to touch that at all. Here, we have a diamond crossing already. With the diamond crossing, I'm pretty sure that we don't have to worry about who's going where. We can just make this one right-hand traffic lane. That should be good. Now, that train that we just saw should be able to turn around in here relatively easy. You're right there. This is a big mess. I'm just going to leave that alone. I would like... Yeah, I can't put a signal here. And I know this is the short train, so that should be fine. There's not enough room to put a signal here for the train that you have running there, so I'm not going to put a signal there. There is room for a signal right here. Sometimes you just have to reduce your train length as well. So that's all purple. That is good. This guy is scary simply because this is one-lane traffic to do what? Oh, you connect there somewhere. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, this is good. I see that this lane is connecting to both of those sides, so that makes me feel better. We can make this a little nicer. I don't know that you're actually using all of this, but it's fine. Signal that up. Again, just one-way traffic. If you have 2 tracks laid down already, do yourself a favor and do one-way traffic. If you have only one track, you can make it work, but treat every long piece of track like this one as one piece of a junction. What you could do here is probably put a side track in, and actually the new block signals are supposed to be able to handle this, so I'm going to try that. I'm not convinced that they do, but I'm trying it. Here we're just doing the same thing. This is again one-way track. This is just to get to coal. And I know right now you only have one train doing that track. This is for passenger transport. And there's a diamond junction that I was looking for. And then, yeah, this can all just get a simple terminal station in there. That should be good. Get this one here, get this one here. I don't just want to leave you saying, hey, this is just not the best thing to do. Why is this one purple? You're not a junction. You should not be purple at all. That's very strange. This is not a junction. I'm not sure why it treats it as such, because there's no other rail connection. Doesn't matter. We're just going to continue. I will build a quick and dirty bypass. Doesn't have to be super long, just long enough. That one there, and this one here, just to make sure there are no trains that will be blocked in here. Yes, build that. The rubles, then I will take out this signal and the signal at the end, just so we can use this as our block in here. It halves the distance, just approximately, not exactly. Well, no, obviously it doesn't do it approximately at all. But it's better than just having a one-way traffic. Okay, so that's good. And then we have this junction beast over here. If we say that you can only go right here, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Let's have you come in here. It's like this. You can connect to all of these. That train platform, let's see. There's no turnaround here. There's no turnaround here. So right-hand traffic is what I prefer. But looking at this, that may not work because not everything is connected in a way that I expected it to. There's no way right now for a train to come in here and turn around anywhere, and that's a little scary. I know I'm going the simple way here. I understand that, but I prefer showing you the simple way than the complicated way. I think it helps a little more bring my point across. So yeah, if we just make this one-handed, one-sided. That should be good. This guy, the only way to turn around here is in this customs house. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure why we needed this loop. This loop should have been the other way around, but it's not the end of the world. Also, in front of the customs house, I would never leave this little room, simply because your trains won't have anywhere to go. So yeah, we're just going to use this as our queuing area, and that's not the end of the world, honestly. It's just not ideal, but that's fine. Get a couple more signals here, wherever we can. That looks good. Yeah, honestly, this should be fine. But what we have going on right now, there's a lot of stuff going on here. You always want to give yourself some room to actually set the switches right. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of junction going on here. Since they're all going the same way, they shouldn't block each other. It's just not ideal. That's all. But I think now we have an okay setup for this. Still going to be hard to get a train in here. What you really need is probably... come on. It's probably a turnaround somewhere here, but it's going to be really hard to get one. And I actually don't want to put it where our queuing area for the export is. Where I want to put one is oh, this is going to work. This is going to work just fine. Now your trains from here can go wherever they want to go. That should be good. Yep, I like it. Put one there, separate out these blocks. Excellent. Yes. Good. That looks good. This one is just the entry. Yep, I'm happy with that. Those signals should work. This one should work. It's not perfect, but it's fine. Yeah, really, the big thing here is avoid rail touching itself everywhere. Make it a little more neat, a little more clean, so that way you don't have to worry about placing the signal somewhere and that breaking everything. Stop production. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's... You're not supposed to produce anything, period. So I don't know what your problem is. How are we doing on money? It hasn't moved much, but we're full on coal now. We are producing a lot of coal here. That's excellent. This guy is not... Oh, I forgot to tell you. If you don't have an engine in between, your production buildings will always have no coal. They pull it directly from where the source is. If you have an engine, the engine will actively push it into the place that requires it, which in this case is right there. These guys... You're going to the storage to pick up materials. That is not ideal. Customs house. Your customs house and your customs house. Okay. Yeah, that's not ideal because it's a lot slower to pick up from there than pick up from one of the aggregate loading stations. So we're going to change that in the line menu so I don't have to change it on both trucks. Go here instead. I want you to wait until loaded and get rid of this guy. Very good. Thank you. It should just be a little faster, even though the distance they travel may be a little longer. It should be worth it, but you also have a train here already, so that tells me I want this stuff not to happen at all, because actually you don't have a train to export, you just have a train that does something. I'm going to leave this. The train right now is just going out to... where is he? It's going out to the steel mill the last time I checked. Yes, right there. Okay, no workers. No workers means that this train is not arriving here. We are getting close to... I don't want to do that. I want to find this guy. Where are you? Where are you stuck? Okay, you're both stuck here. Excellent. Glad I found that. Your problem right now, if I look at the line, you cannot get out of here. Okay, fair enough. Can I find out where you're trying to go? I thought you wanted to try to go there, but that's not true. You are here. No, you want to go there. You are here. Okay, how could you possibly go to where you want to go? Are you electric or fuel? You are electric. Okay, I think that's our problem. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's our problem. What is not electrified? That is a one-way track now. Looks like a lot of stuff is electrified. That's actually good to know. That's connected. It could also be just one wrong signal that I placed already. Oh, to get this, I'm just holding left shift. That's all I'm doing. left shift to connect these guys. You are... Okay, that didn't work. That didn't make a difference, I mean. I can't see what is not built in this case. Let's turn this one on. Nope, these are all built. It feels to me like they should be able to get here. There was something that I just built. Oh, roads. Yeah, it's not what I wanted. There should be something in here that's blocking you from getting where you want to go. This looks fine. Okay, let's go hunt down where the problem is. You are here right now. Can you get to the signal? Okay, that didn't work the way I wanted it to work. You. Let's make sure that I'm looking at the right thing. Okay, so this is where you are. This is where you want to go. Got it. My bad. Okay. So after this guy, you're connecting just fine here. Let's diagnose what the problem is here, and then we're probably pretty close to the end of what we need. Oh, this is just not a double switch. That's easy enough to fix. Give me this guy. Let's see if I can do that without too much turmoil. You don't want to connect there. That is all right. This is already a little messy, so I'm not that worried about making it a little more messy. Nope. Nope. It's not how I want you to connect. Right there. Build it. Done. You come in there. You... Yeah, don't touch that. just don't touch it. There's a train. Now they're moving. Everything should be good. And just to make this a little more efficient, I'll send this one back to the city station, so we don't have to worry about that. I thought the city station. Oh, you're two different locations. Where are you going now? You probably don't want to go here. Actually, you do want to go there because right now you're the only one with workers on board. Okay, that's cool. So that's working. This is working. Food production, how are we doing here? You have a lot of food being taken, but not enough. You're full. That is good. This is the triple export. I would say the triple export deserves 1 or 2 more trucks. Simply because we have the production now. On the other side, we only have 1 warehouse where we deliver to, and I'm not that worried about that at all. So, yeah. As long as this one is not full, we're doing okay. The number of workers here is good. The number of gravel that we have here is actually pretty good. So the trucks that we have is only exporting the excess, not more. There are a couple cars waiting here. This is a good number of workers that we have there. It's just supposed to produce. It doesn't have to overproduce. I don't think that we need this line. 5 people to get here, or 5 buses to get people to this area is a little overkill because we can simply, I don't know if we can connect here, but I'm pretty sure we can connect from here, and we already have a pretty big bus line right there. So yeah, this one currently brings people to the meat processing plant, which honestly, you don't have enough livestock to make this work, and it's really hard to do livestock. I would not do that in the beginning. Plus, we don't... Actually, this one is also in walking range of the other guy. Yeah. Every bus that's here on this line can go home and get sold. Don't need it. Reduces fuel usage and increases effectivity. Yes, probably. That's the word. Okay. Crop production. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong here. We don't need workers here because, again... we just don't produce enough, and once this guy's actually producing a lot of crops, I would recommend just bringing them down here, which you probably maybe already are doing. Oh, we're out of crops. Cool. So this is the thing where I said it's okay to buy crops every once in a while. I prefer to import these with a distribution office, but if you don't have one set up already, it is fine if you just say, okay, just auto buy them if we have food. Now, food source here is open, which is why I added the 2 trucks that are probably coming in right now to export more. And you can increase that at will. I don't think that will be a problem. This guy looks like you're full now, so we can probably add another export truck if we wanted to. 1 or 2 maybe. What do we have available? Concrete, sower, snowplow, open, dumper. There we go. Let's get 2 more of you. Assign you and you. We just want to stay ahead of the gravel. I don't want the gravel to accumulate, but I do want it to, well, make money if we can. Okay, that looks good. The trains seem to be happy. We may be doing something with that. I'm not that worried about the lumber. Lumber is not a very profitable industry. Something that we can consider now or can look at now is bring more people to the oil refinery, but as long as you have this much fuel sitting around, I'm not worried about increasing this more. What you want to look at for right now is making sure that you don't have any fuel problems anywhere. So all of these buildings, they should be all in range of fuel stations, honestly. All of these buildings should have enough fuel to work. Yep, there's fuel in there, there's fuel in here, so I'm not worried about that at all. You can complete or continue building this, there is no problem with that. There are a lot of workers here that are probably going to the steel mill right now. That is good. The steel mill is currently not working, but it has 500 people, so you can even add another train if you wanted to get this done. Down here, same issue as before. You are only producing when these guys are producing, otherwise you're not going to have iron ore, which you will have more iron ore than coal all the time, because your ratio is almost 2 to 1. So just to fix this and to wrap this up, I will add another set of storages. T to flip this around. Here's what we're going to do. Get you out there. Get the storage right here. Cool. Build that. Thank you. And then ideally you want to put another small storage here. It's just not enough space for this. So, is there? Trying to see if there's any way to do this. There is. You can use engines and those things here a lot, and that will help. But for right now, this is probably okay. This is the higher volume, and this one you definitely want to have an in-between storage. This one would be nice to have an in-between storage, but if you don't, life goes on. It's not the end of the world. Actually, I'm going to do this. Yep, I am going to do this. Do we have an excavator available? Barely. That's not working. There's a road connection there. There's a road connection here. Honestly, I think we're okay. There's some iron ore produced here. That is good. That's a good number of workers there. This is a good number. Coal is really your reducing or problem factor, so I just blame that. And at this point, the coal train that is supposed to be here... where are you? Engage rail track further along. Got it. Oh, no, this is fine. It's moving. And it looks like you just need another train that does the same thing. We could set that up, or we could just leave it as is. I would say set that up because steel is actually pretty good to have. But it doesn't matter. Here's another reason why you probably want to set up, and I'm not going to do that right now, but something that you could do is set up another coal drop-off here, or just add another connection for this line. Right now this is only supporting one train, which is fine, but you want to do more. Okay, that's all I have. We're really over time by a lot, but there's a lot to fix. I hope I gave you some ideas of what you can do, where you can do it, why you can do it. I hope I explained it clearly and not just mumbled my way through this. I think our production everywhere is doing pretty well. Here you can see we have a lot more coal ore than we know what to do with, so we definitely want to put another coal processing plant somewhere in this area if you can. Maybe take down this mountain a little bit and put it on the other side, and then just try to sneak it into this area later on. But also now we have more coal than we're using, which means you could export more of it. Just adding more trucks could help, or similar. Gravel, this is still a problem. I think each of these quarries could use another truck to dump off more gravel here, because you're most likely just running out of quarried stone all the time, not of the actual throughput and not the workers. So keep that in mind. You could also probably want to bring in more gravel that way. Anyways, okay. Worker-wise, we do still have some unemployed workers. If you want to know where they are, click on your citizens' living preferences. Workers were unemployed yesterday. A handful here. There are actually no buses currently sitting there. That is weird to see. There's a lot more unemployment happening on this side. That is scary, but I think it's okay. Yeah, we're good. Another thing, you're doing it here, you don't allow passengers and students to wait there. You may want to turn passengers off on these bus stations as well, simply because they take up space. You only have 200 potential spaces available. So once they're full, and you can't do anything else. But this looks good. We're producing food now up the wazoo. We are still not exporting enough. So something else that you can do here that may be really, really helpful is find a place really close to where a warehouse can go. I would say right here is probably good. Yeah, I said I was going to be done, but there's too much to do. Find a warehouse that's nice and close. I'll flip it around like this. That looks good. Get a road connection to somewhere reasonable. Cool. Then get a rail connection, and this one can be long or short. I'm always opting for longer than I need. May as well... Sure, right here. Nope, not right there, right here. Yep, there you go. Plop it in here, connect you there, and then just have this as a rail connection here for one train, nothing else. You don't need power for this one, so don't worry about that. Let's build this. Let's assign our road. There we go. Obviously, if you want to build this the nice way, use your own construction offices, but for right now, I'm just speeding up the process. We have this guy right here. You could make this with a cargo station. Also, this field is currently nonsense. Can't see that. At some point, it was probably a large field, and then it got shortened and minified because of reasons. There you go. It's still a small field. What is going on here? There's something... Oh, this is flat. Why? For some reason, this is not building what I want it to do. And actually, I will opt now, because I already took that out, to build a cargo station here. That should speed up your delivery a little bit. There you go. Build that, because why not? Field. I'm trying to hurry through this now because this is getting way, way too long. Okay, it's not going to want the large field. How about a medium field? Yeah, easy. You can probably add 2 medium fields here. Nope. But you could add another small field. I don't know why it doesn't want to build here. Okay. I don't want to diagnose that right now, because this is fine. And then just make sure that you assign one of your farms to that field. I don't know what your setup is right now, but there you go. That should be good. Also, maybe water here. Doesn't matter. But now you have this guy. And all you want to store in here is food. And all the excess food. That's important. Why? Because at some point you will expand again, and then you need another place to get your food from, and you probably want to use a train for that. So for right now, this is not ideal, because it would be great if you have a cargo station right there. You just bring all your food from here, wait until loaded, that should be fine. And you may create a traffic jam issue here, but I think we'll be fine because our production looks really, really good. Yeah, this number is too high, and that's the real problem. I just need 2 trucks that bring all the stuff over here, and then you can have your food stored here, and then use a train to export that, or just bring it to another place. Okay, that's all I have. Cool Republic. A lot of stuff to fix, a lot of stuff to learn. I did most of the same mistakes in the beginning. Just remember, don't understand the power grid. And I actually haven't really... No, I have. This one is just exporting right now, most of it. And this one is currently turned off. And this one is exporting and doing other things. I actually have not told this one to export. So, okay, let's export whatever we can, which means this one should produce more smoke and is also at 100% of that stuff. Your Republic will always pull the power that it needs, and then the rest is just going to get exported. So you don't have to worry about that too much. But this looks good. This is on fire. Perfect. We have fuel, a lot of it. We have bitumen. We have everything. We turned off all the imports. So at this point, I expect the imports for this month to be pretty reasonable. Steel, not great. Food. Not sure where we're still importing food, but maybe I just haven't played as long as I thought. Gravel. Weird. Well, just find wherever you are still... importing things that you shouldn't, that you're already producing yourself. Thanks for watching. This was really, really long. If you stuck with me for this long, I really appreciate it. If you didn't, I understand, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I hope you learned something. Really appreciate a subscribe or a like or patronage or something else. But also watching it is more than enough. Thank you for watching. Bye.